So along with the foods that we have here that make up 30% of the diet, birds can also eat our food, can't
Of course they can. Of course they can. And we're becoming more preoccupied with choosing healthy foods for our family. Therefore, it makes it easier for us to offer and share some of our meals with our birds. Now, of course, there's some simple rules and guidelines to follow, right, Suzanne?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I think that foraging activity is great when it's done with the family at supper time, but not allowing our birds to come and eat in our plates.
Not very hygienic.
No, definitely not allowing our birds to share our food with our mouth either, right? My Moluccan cockatoo actually used to be allowed to roam on a kitchen table, and he once burnt his mouth because he dipped into my coffee mug that was quite hot. We've seen birds also share pizza with people and burn themselves on the hot cheese. Very important to mention that not all human foods should be shared ad libitum with birds. For sure, this is a small percentage of the diet, and definitely we have to be careful to some of the salty foods, right? And the sugary foods, but spicing your birds up with some of our spicy foods is actually very healthy for our birds. And I think that this is something that can be achieved, especially if we acquire a training stand or an activity stand that can be easily cleaned, right? We want to have perches that are easily cleaned, and allowing our birds to come closer to the family dinner, and then interacting with our bird while we're eating some of the same foods, like the healthy pastas.
Exactly. I was just thinking that some of the viewers might want to know what types of food you would want to be eating.
Well, my family's not Italian, but I wish it was, and I'm sure if I had a companion bird that would be living in an Italian family, of course, they definitely relish the pastas, and that's very healthy for them. Of course, some of the sweet potatoes are often not eaten enough by ourselves, but are definitely of higher value. And I would definitely stay away from anything that is of any kind of dessert for birds. And the dairy products have to be given with a little bit more precaution because birds do not tolerate well eating a lot of dairy products.
Because you mentioned cheese on pizza, but they can't eat too much cheese.
They can't eat too much cheese, and it should be limited, of course. Yes. Now there is a really fun recipe that a lot of aviculturists use to trigger on the breeding season, but a lot of our companion parrot owners have tried, and it works quite well, and it's very easy to make. We recommend that you cook some rice, of course some healthy rice, which is usually the whole rice,
the brown rice,
and the wild rice. And once the rice still has a little bit of hot water in it, and it is about to start swelling up, we usually add some Tropimix in this mix, and cover it back up with the saran wrap, and allow this Tropimix formula to actually swell up a little bit, and it will become a soft food that you can offer your bird. Now, once this preparation has cooled down, you can put it back into the ice cube containers, the plastic containers, and then put it in a plastic bag and store it in the freezer so that you can periodically take out a quantity, and then you can have this soft food preparation available.
You know, it's always going to be fresh too.
Always going to be fresh.
Take it out of the freezer.
Absolutely. And this is one that we recommend, especially for birds that are trying to convert onto Tropican granules.